on live. It says we are live. Well, I guess it's really technically afternoon, isn't it? Good afternoon, everybody. This is Len and Bob and the Motivation Manifesto discussion. I put some messages up in the chat. I see people there, and I'm trying to know if you would like me to send you an invite to join us. David, I'm going to send you an invite. I'm assuming you can hear me. I'm going to send you an invite. And no. Well, I guess it's really technically afternoon, isn't it? Good afternoon, everybody. This is Len and Bob and the Motivation Manifesto discussion. Bob, you got to turn your... I don't know where you went, Bob. Bob? Where'd you go, buddy? Julia, I assume you can hear me. We usually go through a couple or 3 minutes of getting the issues sorted out. And Julia, let me know in the chat if you want to come over and participate live, which means we'll see you on camera. On the camera, we'll see whatever you do have. And so right now it's just me and you, Bob. David disappeared from the attendee list, so I'm assuming he's on his way over. Anyone else, if you're not getting to come across with the link, this link I put up in the chat right here, with my name, if you click on that, it'll bring you directly into the broadcast through Google Hangouts. Bob, are you there?
I think I am. Am I?
You're here, but still no camera.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why there's no place for to click on a camera either. I just have mute. I have mute and unmute, and I might have to go on mute most of the time because I got this. They're grinding my street right behind, about 20 feet behind me here.
They're grinding your street.
Yeah, they're gonna repave it, so right now they're grinding and doing all the grinding and stuff. It might get. It's hard for me to talk. It's so loud.
All right. I'm looking at the webinars on air settings, and I'm looking at the panelists, and you're still in there as a panelist. Every 3 seconds at singler.com, so you should have gotten...
I received something, but when I tried to click on it, it said that was already in there.
What is going on? There's Chris. All right. Chris and Larry. We'll try to bring Chris and Larry over. Why? Okay, I think Chris is coming across. Hey, David, here he is. So, David, what did you just experience? It took forever from the time I clicked the button for you to show up over here.
I guess I was reading the book and I didn't notice that.
All right, fine. So you didn't respond right away. Okay, that's all right. I understand that. Larry, I'm still trying to bring you over. Clicking the button. And if I can't get you over, you can click on the link that I put in the chat and come straight in through the Hangout.
Sorry about that.
What's that, David? Are you apologizing? Don't apologize.
Okay.
It's not a problem. It's just that this technology is sometimes a little delicate, and I don't know what's going on. So I don't have visibility, and when people aren't able to come across, I'm trying to solve the problem from this end and figure out what's happening.
Okay.
Okay, there's Larry. So the only person left over there right now is Julia. Julia's Doodles. Julia, I assume you can hear me. Type in the chat if you can hear me. Say hi, Len, and tell me if you want to come across. And Bob, I'll keep working on. Do you want to kick off the discussion, Bob? And I'll keep working on bringing people over that want to come over.
As long as I can hear me because of all the work that's going on behind me here.
Yeah, we can hear you, Bob.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what, Bob? Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Every so often you start beeping, but we can hear you.
All right.
And I think last week, as I recall, we were sitting like at page 104, 103, 104, right square in the middle of reclaiming our agenda. And we said that these chapters were there's so much in them that it didn't make any sense to try to rush through a chapter per week. We just go with whatever pace felt comfortable for the group. By the way, when I created the webinar a few weeks ago, I created this for the entire year. So this webinar is actually created through December of 2015. We don't have to go that long. We can always stop at any time, but we also don't have to be in a hurry. We can do whatever we want. So,
we can also add other books to just talk about.
well, we can, and like I showed you this morning, and I'll just toss it up there one more time, I found on my bookshelf, and this was the subject of my Coffee with Lynn video yesterday or the day before, I don't remember which, where I talked about hidden treasures in the closet. This is Brendan Burchard's earlier book, the one that predates Motivation Manifesto. It's called The Charge, Activating Continuing Drives That Make You Feel Alive. I've had this book sitting on my shelf in Gallery Dust for probably over 2 years, and I realized the other day that I had this hidden treasure. I pulled it off the shelf and started to read it, and I would recommend it. It's a good book.
Yeah, I read it. It is a good book.
Yeah, and so I'm into the second drive right now, and I'm learning a lot. So.
And I'm interested in the book that Bob brought up.
Right, I will have a copy of that. Bob will have it. Yeah. Susan, what's her name? Susan.
Susan
Shearer Young.
Yeah.
What's the name of that book?
It's called How to Allow.
And she is a really, really nice lady also. I've talked to her. Julie is not responding. I wonder what's going on. I'm not getting a chat back from her.
Did you say Debbie was over there too?
Well,
yeah, she can't come over though because her computer will break.
She was there and then she's gone.
She said she'll listen in.
Well, she's not there.
Okay, well.
She's not listening.
She's every time she tries to come on these webinars and there, her computer freezes up on her and stuff.
Yeah. So, and I'm trying to understand if Julia can hear me and wants to come over, but I don't know what to do because she's not. I'm not seeing a response in the chat. She may be responding and we're just not receiving it. I don't know. But anyhow, so where do you want to start?
Well, last week we were on reclaiming our agenda.
Right.
And we were doing pretty good. I tried to rush it towards the end because I thought we wanted to change we wanted to finish up that one chapter, but no, because we were going to rush it. So I think we ended up pretty much like on page 108, 106, 107. There's some areas that I highlighted right there that we didn't read, but he says Brennan was talking about, and we can review this whole chapter. There's no reason to hurry this thing. But there's things about reclaiming our agenda, things that we can do with our life. Like if just say we're in a situation, a job or whatever, there's 3 things we can do. We can continue to hate what we do. We can change our perspective and find meaning and joy in our current tasks. Or we can quit this passion of work and seek out what will make our soul sing, to do something different. Kind of like if you're working for a company that begins with an A and ends with a T. And you want to do something different.
Yeah.
So, but
you know what? Can I
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
A moment.
Go ahead.
With the group's permission, I'd like to back you up one more page.
Okay.
Because the section you're talking about starts here with clarity on what is meaningful. And so I'm on page 106, second paragraph, and the clarity of what is meaningful. Do I find what I am doing each day of my life meaningful? Is all this busy work in line with what I feel is my life's work? Do I find what I'm doing each day meaningful? That is a really powerful question. I mean, let me kick off that. There are days when I don't, I mean, we're all doing the same thing. We're in home-based business, and we're sitting here about computers, and we're trying to put up content, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And there are days that I don't find that very meaningful sometimes. It's like plain damn hard grunt. Do I feel like doing another blog post today? I love making the video, but there are certain aspects of this that, I don't know. What do you think?
Me personally, I think it's like right now, the beginning stages. It's like getting the airplane off of the runway. We have to go very, very, very fast at this point. We're not. I don't think any one of us are at the point now where we can kind of like cruise and have that lifestyle that people are talking about, where they can just work 3-4 hours a day and just relax. We have to work real harder than most people at this point, so we can get off of the ground and get up there and get off of the runway, so we can get to that point. But so right now it's like I feel like I'm working harder than ever before. But I'm not going to stop working, and I know I have to work this hard in order to get momentum to make things happen.
So for you, the work is meaningful because you have this vision of where you want to go, and I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't want to stay working as hard. I don't want to work as hard as I'm doing right now forever. But I feel like I have to at this point just to make things happen.
Yeah, I agree, and I think with me, it's working hard, and but I also have to learn to work smarter. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I had to do that in every job I've had, and right. You realized, when I was a phone company guy, I realized when I first went out, it would take me so long to do stuff, and it's just like you're lost. So after a while, you find smarter ways.
Hi, Julia.
Hang on, folks. Welcome aboard, Julia. Not quite sure how you got here. I've been trying to communicate with you, but great.
It took me a while.
You're right, Larry. Larry, you're right. We were talking about that on the other webinar. We were talking about putting videos up. Sometimes it takes hours to render these things. And Justice Egan was talking about how he can do it in just a short period of time. He can put the videos together, put a blog post, and send out a newsletter, like within a half an hour or 45 minutes. And I'm not at that stage yet. So
no, but he wasn't at that stage at first either.
Right, you're right. Yeah, we can't compare ourselves with him.
Yeah.
Well, there's a learning curve. We're all on the learning curve.
Yeah.
And so I think, for me, I think that pretty much I find what I do most every day is meaningful. And even though it's tasks that I don't really enjoy doing, can I take that back?
Hey, Len, do you want to back up to the last page for Julia in case you didn't hear what you open up with?
Okay, Julia, we opened up on page 106, and right the second paragraph down. You don't have your book, do you? All right. Anyhow, the part we started with this: do I find what I am doing each day of my life meaningful? Is all this busy work in line with what I feel is my life's work? And we're talking about, is our work meaningful? Julia?
Len? Len?
Yeah.
I mean, can you back up a little bit just to bring this into more of a context? You go up here on just a little bit further up on page 106, just under the, it says, well, clarity and what is meaningful. What will give us a sense that we are one or more in command of our life agenda is clarity, direction, progress. That was the context he brings forward in that thing. And then we start going into first is clarity, and that's that first question.
Yeah.
Getting into.
Okay. Good point. This is what's known as a pregnant pause.
So getting back to where I was then before that, Len, so then we have three options. We can continue hating what we do. We can change our perspective and find meaning and joy in what our current tasks are. Or we can quit the dispassion of work and seek out what will make our soul sing. And I think what we were just talking about was we can just change our perspective, or perspective, maybe not even change it, but just accept what we're doing because it is meaningful. We're working hard at what we're doing. And pretty much, none of us are thinking about quitting or doing something different. So with those three options, I think we're probably all of us are doing the same option. We accept it and we're working through it. I think I am.
Well, I would agree with that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think that's what we were saying.
Yes, I mean, so we're pretty much all in agreement here. It just would be good for somebody who's like really stuck in a job or something where they really wanted to get out. Where we're already on that path at this point, so it doesn't really apply to us too much right here.
But I also think that it's, like you said, what we talked about before, when coming up with another video, or it's taking us a long time to render it and post it, that I think that, some of us get frustrated, but you realize that we're working toward the ends, and we're working towards the life of abundance that we all deserve.
Mm-hmm.
That we all deserve it,
Right.
And to me, this is, I don't know everything, and sometimes I get frustrated, but I realize there's a means to the end.
Exactly.
And I enjoy, like I said, I'm really grateful for free daily coaching that Bert runs, because I met all you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And, this has been great for me.
Well, it makes it so we're not out here alone.
Yeah.
Isn't that that is just critical. That is so huge for all of us.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's something like the other night they had the member of the month of MLSP was being interviewed by Patricia Sweeney. Did anybody hear that interview?
No, I did not.
Guy's name is it's a young guy, Gavin something or other from England.
Gavin Alford?
Yeah, and then he was saying he actually joined My Lead System Pro, I think like three different times, and he quit about three different over like a 5-year period. And and I seem to hear this story quite a bit these days. Like I'm seeing more and more people, hearing more and more people who have done that, and that makes me actually feel better, because I mean a lot of people, some people don't come in like so many people and just take charge. They struggle with it too.
Did he say why he quit?
What's that, Chris?
Did he say why he quit?
He may have said the reason why. I don't recall the reason why, but I think he just, he was probably busy doing distracted. He was distracted. Then that's pretty much like what this whole chapter was all about. Where Brendan Bouchard says in his chapter, he says, "Are we the striver with the shiny spear? Do we toss it into our field of destiny, or are we the distracted straggler that comes up with excuses because we're doing this, we're doing all these different things?" So a big thing that we need to have is focus. We need to focus on what we're going to do and then go after it. And even if it's going to be frustrating, but at least if we're going in the one direction and not get distracted all the time. And it's so easy to get distracted with all the things that we have here. Webinars, you're on Facebook, messages, videos, there's so many things. So I think it's so important for us, if we know what we want, and then, like Brendan says, throw that spear, that shiny spear of purpose, into the field of destiny, and then see where that is, and go and get that spear, and pick it up and toss it again, and not be distracted. I think distractions slow us down.
Oh, huge.
Yeah. In fact, right before that, on the bottom of page 107 is, what if the world isn't giving me what I want because, based on all my distractions and lack of discipline toward a goal, it's simply unclear what I am asking for. And I don't know about you, but for me, being really clear in my mind to exactly what I want is very difficult sometimes.
Hey, Len,
Yeah.
Getting off of this book for a second and going on to the other book we talked about, How to Allow, that's going to actually give you a little bit more clarity in a simple way. I mean, we're talking about the Motivation Manifesto here. We should be talking about a different book. But the book gives us specific instructions of how to get yourself clear. And I'll go over a simple process of what she says, how to do it. Basically, it's a 3-step process, and you write it down. You get a diary or a notebook and write it down, and write down every morning the things that accept where you are right now, where we are at this point. Accept it. Accept that everything that we did, we're responsible for bringing us where we are at this point. Everything that we've done to this point is brought us there. Accept it. Let it go. Forgive everybody that may have done something to you, and forgive yourself. The second thing is to be grateful for everything you have in your life, all the people, everything, the opportunities, all of that. The third one is to write down very clearly what we want and how we're going to, not just what we want, but how we're going to feel when we have it, and then act as if we already have that. And we've heard this said many times by many people. But I think the difference with this is the actual act of writing it down every single day. Every single morning, write down, I feel great. I feel great now that I can finally put my toes in the sand. It feels so nice to breathe in the fresh air from the ocean breeze. And it feels great that I now have so much money. I can give money to my family, my friends. I can help people out. How does that make you feel to be able to do that? So when you actually put the feeling into it, you visualize it, actually becomes you. It makes it more powerful. It really does.
I like that. I'm really looking forward to this book, getting my hands on it. That's one of the reasons I'm coming to San Diego tomorrow. Is my book? My book is up there in my mailbox.
Okay, yeah.
I gotta come get it. Like I said, I also have to come get my drugs. I gotta go see my drug dealer tomorrow. But
And we get everything we need here, and this book is an amazing book. It gets so deep. Her book just makes it simple. It just simplifies it. That's all. It just makes everything simpler. This book dwells into a lot of really very deep subjects. They're both great. I love them both.
You have to get this book.
Well, in fact, I'm sorry, Larry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Larry.
I was saying How to Allow. I have to get that book.
Yeah, it's a good book.
And in fact, if you flip the page, Bob, on page 108, setting a direction, a written manifesto. And I'm going to guess that we're probably talking about the same thing here.
Yeah.
And how many people? In fact, I've started journaling, and I'll toss this out to the group. Every major mentor that I know has impressed at one time or another the importance of journaling, writing things down all the time. And you know what? I mean, I'm doing something similar. I mean, I'm getting up every morning. I got a journal. I get up every morning, and the first thing I do is I sit down with my journal. I say, "Good morning, Len. How are you going to show up today?" And I write down, "Hey, I'm going to be happy today. What do I intend to do?" And it really helps. It's amazing. And what's amazing to me is the number of people that, what's the word, poo-poo this sort of stuff. I don't need to do that. And you hear, God, you see it on Facebook. You see so much negativity out there.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I got this.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
I already read a motivational book 3 years ago. I'm good.
Yeah.
I went to the gym back in 1998. I buffed up. I'm good, man. I ate last week, so I'm not hungry anymore.
Did you take a bath last month?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Len,
you were going to say something, I think, weren't you?
Len, in the aligning with what you said, as I remember, Tony Robbins says, if life was worth living, it's worth recording.
That's nice. I like that.
Right,
I like that.
And that's what I learned when I was in Mastery. Now I haven't been. You just got me inspired. I need to start journaling myself again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I do every day? I took it from Adam. I took, he writes out his, his loves and his affirmations every day, and I do that now too. Probably in the last 2 weeks I've missed, for some reason I miss 1 day a week. But other than that, I've been doing it, and I come back on, on most of the days, and how did I do today? What did I do today?
Yeah, it's and this book, when I first got this book, Brendan's book back in November, late October, November, and the first thing is he says to write down a journal, and I started doing it back then. I got out of it sometime during December, the December intensive or whatever, but somehow I got out of it, and so I just kind of got sidetracked. I'm back into it now, especially with this book that I just received from Susan Shearer Young, doing the journaling thing every single morning. And that when it becomes a habit, when it becomes a ritual, when you do something every single day, it's not like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week. Well, then maybe one time you might go 1 day a week. And it's not a habit. That's not something you're going to do every single day. So when you make something a ritual, then you're going to do it.
I've been doing it.
Huh?
Yeah, I've been doing it 7 days a week.
Yeah, me too.
Every day. And I'll tell you something else that I've done, and that is that up until a few weeks ago, I kept thinking that I didn't have time to do this stuff in the morning. I know you've done the same thing, Bob. We were concerned about, oh God, now we have to have a 7 o'clock call on the left coast. You guys realize that the Adam Chandler Justice Egan call is at 7 o'clock in California.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a lead from Justice. I'm getting up at 5 o'clock now, and I'm checking off the days that I get up before 5 o'clock. And there hasn't been a day in the last couple of weeks that I've missed, and that gives me the time to sit down and do this stuff in the early morning. And amazingly enough, I'm not going to bed any earlier, but I have more energy. I feel better.
Wow.
And I'm getting less sleep, but I'm doing the positive affirmations in the morning. I'm writing in the journal. I'm doing that stuff, and I feel better.
I agree. You know, I almost don't want to admit this, but for a long, long time, I get up now for the last probably 8 months or so. I get up now and I actually make my bed. And I didn't for a long time, I had my throat and stuff like that. But now it has become, and I started it to test myself. But now it's something that I have to do. And in fact, it's funny because I was in Las Vegas in November at Eric Worre's event, and I found myself waking up in the morning and making a damn bed. Which was funny, but that's why this journaling is. I wanted to do it the same thing, write down affirmations and journaling, and also the workout program. I need to get up and do it every day.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a habit, a ritual.
Yeah, I'm actually pushing myself earlier. I told you I'm getting up at 5, but the last 2 days it's been 4.
Yeah,
and I love it. I mean, and again, I feel better.
3 o'clock in the morning is my favorite time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in alignment with what you're talking about, if you look at page 110, he's got that question, who will I be today? What dreams will I chase? What will I create and accomplish no matter what? Who will I give value, love, or appreciation to?
Yeah.
What will I do or experience that will help me feel fulfilled and grateful when I rest my head to the pillow later tonight?
Yeah, that's a powerful passage. I have that yellowed, heavy yellow.
I have mine pinked because that's the only color I could find in the house for a highlighter.
And if you ask that in the morning at 5 a.m., Glenn,
I do.
That would be a great start of your day.
Yeah, today it was 4. It's actually, I get up, I do my Tai Chi routine, I make the coffee, then I sit down, I pull up the journal, and so it's like about 4:30 actually this morning, but I was writing in my journal, and yeah, I wrote down, what do I want to be today? How am I going to show up? You know.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a really nice passage. This guy is so deep. Brendan Bouchard is so deep. I love whenever I watch one of his videos. I just feel, oh my God, I feel so good watching him.
Don't you find it amusing that he frequently says, "I'm always this annoying"?
Yeah, I like what he's. I love this passage. I love this quote. I love this part of the book, and even though he wrote it, he kind of makes.
That's what he said. I wrote it, but I love it.
He's a very, very, very wise for his age. Very wise guy.
Well, he's been doing nothing but this for like 15 years, studying human behavior and stuff. But still, yeah, he is really pretty interesting guy.
I figure I've been doing it since probably before he was born. You know, but he's like condensed it within a very short period of time. He didn't, you know. But he had a regular job. He was working for a corporate place and stuff like that. So it's not like it's the only thing he was. He's just a lot smarter than I am. Very passionate guy.
But you know what? That's what you just said, Bob. Is limiting our beliefs.
Well, I'm not limiting. I'm not putting myself down. I'm just saying that he's a genius.
Yeah.
The guy is a genius. He really is. He's got people all over the world just like this. You know, everybody just loves Brendan Bouchard. There's certain people that just come around. Yeah, I'm not putting myself down at all. I'm just saying that he's a cut above everybody out there, basically.
Yeah.
You know, I love him too, but it's all been said before by other people in different ways.
It has. You're right. And the more times we hear it, the better off it's going to be. And certain people resonate with us more so than other people do. That's why we got to keep staying in the game and keep hearing it over and over and over until it becomes us.
That's true.
Or give up and say, this is a bunch of crap, and I'm not gonna. I don't believe it. Some people say that. I read that book, Tony Robbins' Money, Master of the Game. It's a 600-page book, and because I'm in that market, so it was important for me to see what he had to say. Really great stuff in there. But then I read the reviews about it. There's like 12 different reviews that I read on Google, and 10 of the 12 made fun of him. They were saying how it was amateuristic. Here he talked to like 50 of the most richest guys in the world, gave them interviews. So there's a lot of value in the book. Was it really cutting edge, high tech stuff? Maybe not, but for the most average American or person in the world to read it, it was very good. But the majority of the people, 10 out of 12 reviews that I read, they made fun of his height, they made fun of his big teeth. I mean, here's people sitting there making fun of Tony Robbins, who's impacted millions of people, like probably 300 million people in his time that he's been doing this. He's worth over $440 million, and here's some person sitting there on Google giving him bad reviews, making fun of his teeth. You know what I mean? I mean, they won't erect a statue to the guy making fun of Tony Robbins' teeth. Trust me.
Well, remember, dogs don't bark at parked cars.
Exactly. So yeah, you can't worry about that. If they're gonna make fun of Tony Robbins, who just impacts so many people around the world, what are they gonna do to a person like Lunch with Len? Oh, look at this idiot up there standing at the front. I hope he falls off, falls in the water or something. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. So we can't get discouraged when that sort of stuff happens.
There isn't anybody in this webinar room right now that isn't going to be the object of criticism from naysayers and other people. We just have to expect it and move on. Because, and you know, the reality is the louder they yell and the more of them that are yelling, the more we know that we're going the right direction and doing good stuff.
Yeah. Who's making fun of that critic? The guy that's making fun of Tony Robbins' teeth? Nobody knows. You never even hear his name ever. I don't remember what his name was. There was like all these, and nobody will. There's no reason to remember him, but everybody knows Tony Robbins.
I think we're off topic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not. I don't know if we really are. We're talking about reclaiming our agenda, what we want to do, and not get discouraged. That's one of the things that we don't want to do is just to get discouraged with what we're doing. So
Well,
really
that's a good
topic.
That's a good point, Bob. You're right. Okay. Anybody else have anything to add?
Well, there's still somewhere in this chapter because we probably should end this chapter this week, then move on to Declaration 3 next week. But on page 114, I highlighted the very top of the book, and where he says, "And so let us decide that we will not let other people's fire drills result in daily drills of us scratching off our dreams. The demands of the whimsically needy or the terminally ill-prepared are not our issue. Their lives are not our responsibility."
I love that. I love that. The terminally ill-prepared.
and that could be me in many times, being terminally ill-prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Owning this life truth is freeing. I am not in charge or responsible for the wrecks others have created in their lives, and I do not need to save everyone in my life. So it's just this whole chapter is just about reclaiming our agenda. One big thing that Brennan always talks about doing, which I have done, is don't look at your email in the morning. And I used to always check the email first thing in the morning. I go look at all the hundreds of emails that are in there. I don't anymore. I don't look at that until later on now. He says that's other people's agenda. Wake up and do like what you said you do, Len, and write down, and Larry, what you said, just write down how you're going to show up that day, and instead of going to an email and saying, "Hey, so and so wants you to open up this link," and then bing, bing, now you're popping around like popcorn on a skillet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So reclaim our agenda. Do what we want to do. Very good.
I agree.
And then, so next week, we don't have to go there yet, but next week's it's going to be Declaration number 3. We shall defeat our demons. That should be a good one, because we all have the demons. We have sabotage. Probably going to talk a lot about distractions, things like that. Those are, to me, that has been a big thing. I'm getting much better at it right now, staying away from those distractions. But anybody else want to add anything towards reclaiming our agenda?
I like this where it says that they may ask, "Who the hell do you think you are?"
Where does he say that, Chris?
That's still on page 114, about in the middle. They will try to ridicule and guilt us, and they may ask, "Who the hell do you think you are?"
Yeah.
How dare you refuse me?
Does anybody have anybody like really close to them that's holding them back, like family member or anything like that? People real close to them that Larry's looking around.
I just don't discuss it with him anymore.
Yeah, you know what? Me neither, because people think I'm crazy for doing all this stuff.
Okay.
It's so funny, you know.
Yeah, I guess I'm lucky because I'm single here now, so I don't have that. It's up to me.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool when you I mean, certain people. If you look at through My Lead System Pro, a lot of people who really do succeed. A lot of these people that succeed, like Larry and Diane Hockman, Bill and Michelle Pesca-Solido. There's a lot of them are couples. If you can get the couples working together, it's like, oh my God, the synergy that you could create. But if you have somebody working against you or not working with you, then you have a lot of resistance inside of a family. When I was married before, it was like that. My ex-wife never believed in any of this sort of stuff like this here at all. That would hurt to have somebody working against you to do that.
Well, I'm not married, but my kid thinks all of this stuff's a crap,
Yeah, the kids think it's crap. Like what part of it?
One.
What do they think? Like the personal development part, or the
Just all of it. He thinks it's just a waste of time, and if he wants to continue working for Lockheed and building airplanes, let him go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Until the plant shuts down on him and he has no job when he's 54 years old.
Yeah, and that could happen. That's a defense contractor.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. Yep.
So what happened there? What happened there, guys? Suddenly, Bob went away and everybody froze.
No, I was here. We were
Bob's here.
talking. You were gone.
I was gone, so I'm the only one. Okay.
Yeah, we lost you.
We just
Okay.
we just had a great discussion going on.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I came back in through Google Hangouts. Webinars on there. I just shut down the WOA.
Okay.
It still says it's live.
Well, it may think it's live, but it's pretty catatonic.
That's pretty good.
They're I think it's on life support.
Hey, what time? I have to get going in a few minutes. What time is it tonight? Profit with
Which
Lynn.
one? 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And then for those who are in the deep abyss, there's a deep abyss call at 6.
Yeah.
So I will hold Profit with Len short, half hour or slightly longer, but so we have time to go into the deep abyss for those who
I
are
dropped
going.
out of the abyss.
Huh? You
I
dropped
dropped
out?
out of the abyss.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
All right.
Okay, man. I guess we're good then. So next week we'll go on number 3 then.
Okay, this has been great, guys.
It has been great.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Have a good
Thanks,
one.
girls. We'll
All right.
see.
If everybody agrees, I'm going to stop the broadcast.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.